Today is May 23rd, 2023, and that means Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro for iPad got released earlier today. Now, I was at work all day and I didn't get a chance to play with it until now. I've got Final Cut downloaded and I want to try a few things to see if it will work in my workflow, maybe just my travel workflow, maybe a daily kind of thing. There's like 4 things I want to try out. I want to see if I can just edit a simple vlog. I want to see if I can edit event work, normally like 2-camera, try out the multicam setup and see what it's like editing footage from my Canon cameras. The third thing I want to try is that like subject removal thing, that like green screen remover. And lastly, I just want to see what the interface is like and if it's something that I like. And I've tried not to watch too many videos. I watched the announcement video. I watched a couple of preview videos from folks who got it early, but I didn't watch too much. I wanted to explore and kind of figure out some things on my own. I know that there's like a user guide that's supposed to be really handy, but I want to do kind of a first impressions, check it out on camera. So I've got it downloaded right here, Final Cut Pro. I think I can do the free trial for a month. After that, it's either $5 a month or $50 for a whole year. Yeah, okay. And I can do the 1 month free and then kick it over. I guess I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in and just do a whole year. Let's try that out. But if I don't like it, I can cancel it within the month. All right, here we go. It's a family subscription, so everybody in my family will get Final Cut Pro for iPad. But I'm the only one in my family with an M1 iPad. I don't know what else in my family has an M1 or M2 iPad Pro. Start editing with a demo project. Oh, you could get some free footage. I believe this footage is from Andy Toe. I saw him on Twitter saying he was like so honored that Apple chose his iPhone footage to be used as the sample footage for Final Cut. I want to know this. That said, Andy got to spend an amazing Lunar New Year in San Francisco. So that's I don't have anything that cool. So there's that. Yeah, I did read your things are called projects and inside of your projects are called timelines, whereas that kind of breaks the nomenclature from the Mac version of Final Cut. I've been using Final Cut on the Mac for over 10 years. I jumped in like nearly day one and have been a diehard Final Cut fan, for better for worse. And yeah, this is kind of cool. I get the feeling that like, I totally understand they did not port entirely Final Cut from the Mac and put it on the iPad, kind of like what Blackmagic did with DaVinci Resolve. Although even though it looks like you only get the cut page, but you can turn on all the other pages, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool that it seems like they've mostly worked this from the ground up. But yeah, let's start a new project. I've got some footage in here from my iPhone, just a little like walking through my mom's garden and checking it out. So we'll call this garden tour. Now I do have the Logitech keyboard right now, and I have the Logitech crayon. I think that's what this is called. I had a Apple Pencil that magneted on, but I lost it. So and rather than buy a whole nother one, I cheaped out and got the crayon. Also, I'm left-handed, so hopefully this works for me, and because I know that it's like very touch centric. I don't know. I get the feeling that it's very right-hand oriented just from the screenshots I've seen. But yeah, project name. Let's call this Garden Tour. It's a vertical video. Let's see, format. Custom. Here we go. So I can orientation, portrait. It was 4K footage, so that's cool. Color space, HDR. So this was filmed in HDR. So yeah, I guess I can keep to this in HDR. Frame rate, I believe I shot this on iPhone at 60 frames per second, but I did that intentionally to slow it down. So yeah, let's stick with 30 frames per second because this is horizontal. This is going to be like an Instagram reel, a Snapchat story, a TikTok. So yeah, we'll stick with 30. I do have stuff to import from photos. I have stuff. No, I don't have stuff in the Files app. For my next project, I do have some stuff in the Files app, but this is a simple one. Yes, I want to allow access to photos, and it's all of this stuff. Great. And add. Now, is this going to add it right in the timeline like iMovie did? No. Okay, it just puts it in the media. That's cool. I do understand that Final Cut wants to have the media in the iPad. So my next project, I'm going to import some footage from this SSD. But even if I pick it from the Files app, I think it's going to import it into the iPad. I want to see how quickly it can do it. So I guess this is a pretty fast cable. I think it's 5 megabits, 5 gigabits per second, something like that. But here's a CalDigit Thunderbolt 4 10 gig or 40 gig cable. I don't know. It's very fast. It's nice. Okay. So yeah, I can tap on a clip. So the layout, yeah, it's interesting that it's kind of adopted the iMovie style. It's not all the film strip like Final Cut on the Mac. I can show clip names. I can change the sort by. That's cool. That's all nice. That looks good. Oh, that's the jog wheel. Interesting. And yep. The jog wheel, that'll be nice. The slower you go, you can get it pretty accurate. Okay. Jump. Oh, those are in and out points. Okay. That's what, yep. Interesting. All right. That's cool. Let's see. I also want to see. Okay. Well, here's what I'm like essentially. Okay. So I can pull that over since this is vertical footage, keep that all the way on the side, but I'm left-handed and I get it. They flip the browser to the right hand because if you're going to be Apple penciling on the right side, put it on the right side. That's where your browser is going to be. You're going to be adding clips to the right, but I'm left-handed. Can I swap the layout here? So the 3 dots, that's where the user guide and the video tutorials are. I don't want to go through the tutorials just to do this as a video. I can append, I can insert, I can overwrite, connect like the secondary clip. That's all cool. That's all good stuff. I can favorite stuff. I can reject stuff. I got snapping. Does in? No, in doesn't do that on the keyboard. What's that? Position. Oh, that's the P. You hit P on the keyboard on. P doesn't do it on here, but on the Mac version. So you kind of override the magnetic timeline. I'm a big magnetic timeline fan. I've gotten used to it. I edit super quick. Oh, nope. That's all right. That's our marking. This is keywords. Can I like multi-select? Oh no, I can select and do that. And I can, no, oh, keyword. There we go. A new keyword. We'll call this guarded, or we'll call this iPhone. Cool. Oh, and it added a blue line. Does Final Cut add a blue line? No, it adds a little line. Well, I'm always in list view. Is there a list? Nope. That's all the internal media. So effects, transitions, titles, backgrounds, objects, soundtracks. Cool. So there's no list view, which is fine, I guess. LumaFusion. So I've had an iPad Pro basically since the first iPad Pro. I had like a 9.7 inch iPad Pro. And then in 2018, I got this iPad Pro. I've enjoyed it. It's an 11 inch iPad Pro. And I thought, man, 2018, the iPad, it's got the more rounded or squared off edges. This is really pro. Maybe this will be like, I'll switch over full Mac into full iPad. Didn't happen. Files app stunk for a long time. It's okay now that there's like a progress wheel, which kind of looks like the Final Cut progress wheel when you're exporting a video. But the Files app still, like, I feel like I just lose things in the File app on iPad, especially when working with a external SSD. Like I don't feel confident in the Files app. But, you know, I tried to go all in. I downloaded LumaFusion and Affinity Photo. And honestly, there are some things I still use my iPad a lot. And now that I have a 12.9 inch iPad Pro M1, like there are some things that are still great. I still love, like, I almost prefer photo editing on the iPad with pencil or just my fingers, and Affinity Photo and VSCO, VSCO, Darkroom. I've kind of given up on Adobe, so I don't have Lightroom or Photoshop or Premiere Rush. I'm not in the Adobe ecosystem personally, but yeah, I tried it. I couldn't do it, and I was just like, maybe Apple will come out with Final Cut for iPad, and that'll solve a lot of my problems. And you know, 5 years later, here we are. But yeah. So anyway, let's select all these clips. This is probably what I would do on the Mac. I'd just take all these clips and I would just stick them in the timeline here. If I had an M2 iPad with, I probably the crayon probably wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be able to hover to skim, but I believe I can use the trackpad and I can skim just like on the Mac. Now, I'm just going to turn down the volume on all of these. I don't need the audio for this. I was going to put some music under there. Let's close the jog wheel. I can also move it out of the way. Something else that I would kind of do with all of these clips is adjust so I shot at 60 frames per second. I would probably immediately slow them down. I'd kind of do automatic speed, clip speed, 100%. Yes. Retime. Oh, automatically retime. There we go. Now on the Mac, I could just Command A and do that, but it looks like the inspector doesn't handle multiples. I was saying something else about LumaFusion. I lost my train of thought. That's okay. So it is kind of a bummer. I've got to go select each one. Or I guess I could tap the clip and I can copy my effects somehow, I believe. Can I just Command C and then Command Shift V? No. Color conversion, that's kind of cool. So I could turn my HDR into standard dynamic range. That's nice. So anytime Apple at an iPhone event, they'll call their HDR Dolby Vision, but it's really HLG, hybrid log gamma, I believe, for easy switching between HDR and SDR. It's like already pre-mapped for SDR, but it looks like that's in there. I am very interested in how I can handle lookup tables. I don't think I'm going to have any lookup table support for my. Oh, here we go. Format, copy all settings, and then can I? Oh man, I want to be able to just paste this setting to all of these. So I've gotta. That's. Can I Command Shift V? Command Option Shift V? Oh man. Nope, that just pastes the whole clip. Oof. So I do a lot of this like slow-mo stuff for my vlogs. And this is gonna make it a bit tedious. I wish I could just paste across all of the clips in the timeline. Luckily, I didn't do too many here. And And like, this isn't really faster on the trackpad either, because I've got to like swipe all the way across the screen. It is faster to just touch it and then do it. And yeah, I get the feeling like a lot of the keyboard commands, some of them are here. I know like option left bracket, option right bracket, which is something I would do. Do JK, yeah, JK and L work. Oh, I made a keyframe somehow. Oh, I'm in keyframe selection. So what I want, no, I don't want range. Guess I want edge. Ooh. All right. So edge. Oh, yeah. Edge kind of feels like, let's say, okay, let me trim this crazy cactus and let me trim this one. Whoa, what did I do? That's weird. That is not doing what I thought that would do. I thought this was going to be like the trim tool. I can undo with the keyboard command. Looks like I've got undo up at the top here. But also, oh man, you used to be able to option left bracket, option right bracket without selecting the clip. So now I've got to select the clip. On the Mac, when I say used to, on the Mac, I don't have to have a clip selected. I can option left bracket, option right bracket, just, from where the playhead is intersecting with the clip. If no clip is selected, it's just whatever clip is intersecting by the playhead, it will do. Another thing that I also rely on in the Mac a lot is when I've selected a clip, seeing right underneath, this is my current time in the timeline. I'm 11 seconds and 10 frames into this timeline. But typically like right under that, it'll tell me the duration of the clip that I am currently selected. I really like that because typically for B-roll, I'm aiming for like 2 to 3 seconds. And I want to know how long that clip is. So I've got where I currently am in the timeline. I've got how long my timeline is, but I'm used to seeing one other piece of time, and that's how long my selected clip is. So yeah, I've got to select that clip. I've got to jump over. And I just kind of have to like count in my head, like, let me do that again. I did it in my head. One misses, or let's say, okay, let's back it up. This is where I want to start. Select the clip. Option left bracket, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, pause, right bracket. And that's, that's where I am. Now the jog wheel does, this is pretty cool. This is like, obviously we're never going to see this on the Mac because it's not a touch screen until, someday we have a touch screen Mac, but I don't know. That seems a long way off. But then I wish, there was like a, left bracket. Oh, this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to be able to grab this and like slip. Is that a slip edit? A slide? Anyway, I'm not a real editor. Yeah. No left-handed mode. I would love appearance, left-handed mode, swap the browser over so I can get to it with my left-handedness. Viewer background. Oh, you can play back performance over quality, just like on the Mac. So when I hit play, it's going to drop the resolution. Video scopes. All right, I can do the vector scope. Where's my skin tone line? Where's the skin tone? I've got vector scope. Where's the skin tone line? I need it. Waveform, great. No, and if so, that is kind of weird. I'm in an HDR timeline, but it's still 0 to 100. I'm used to seeing it like 0 to 1,000. For that, very weird. Vector, man, and there's nothing to bring up the skin tone indicator line or kick this up to 133% to kind of increase my sight. Now, it's cool that they're there. It's a bummer that the important stuff is missing. Yeah. So anyway, I can go through option. I think it's better if I'm on the range. Select. Okay. I can click and drag and select multiple. But I can also, no. Oh, that's not doing what I thought it would do. Yeah, that's what I thought I was doing. Now I can delete that, but what I want is to like select the range and say only keep that section. I guess if I'm doing like a range selection, I want to be able to choose what I want to keep. Maybe like shift delete, command delete. No. Yeah. Those are keyframes. Position. Oh, I can render. That's kind of cool. I can expand audio components. So that'll be good when I'm working with the Canon footage. Yeah, so at position mode, I can get a gap clip and kind of, essentially not deal with magnetic timeline if I needed to. But man, yeah, I don't know if I want to edit my vlogs in this because I can't see how long my B-roll clips are versus something like LumaFusion. You might have noticed the yellow dot, and this, I am in the LumaFusion beta test. Currently, I think everything that's that I've beta tested is now public. So like multicam is out. I got multicam from them a little early. So let's say I'm making the same project here. We'll call this garden tour. Now oh, that's weird. It's drawing in the text there. So I want to say 30 aspect ratio portrait, and I will select the resolution upon export color space. It will automatically, I can force Rec 709, but I can also force Rec 709 10-bit, which is kind of cool. So this HDR footage is 10-bit and it'll be SDR, but it will maintain 10-bit color and it'll force an HEVC export that it retains 10-bit. Now, here's what I was hoping. I was hoping in Final Cut, obviously put the browser on the left because I'm left-handed. I can also select multiples with the checkbox there, grab a bunch of these. That's not the fastest way to do that. Anyway, and then I can import them. Same thing. I can insert or I can overwrite. But they're all here. And when I select a clip, I see the duration of this clip. Also, I'm not sure if I don't think I can retime all of these here either, which is also why I have not kind of made LumaFusion like my main editor for vlogs when I'm shooting slow-mo B-roll. But I can copy. No, let's see. I didn't mean to do that. That's the multi-select. The tricky thing is these icons, I often forget what they are. Pasteboard. Okay, so I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to paste the attributes, but the retiming is not there. So I cannot just quickly make all of these retimed. But can I select all? Can I select a whole bunch of these? And then retime them? No. No, I'm still just working with the one. And then when I go back, just the one. So also not ideal. But what I do get is over here, I get the duration of that particular clip. So when I'm wanting to trim my B-roll down to like 2 seconds, a little too short, 2 seconds, boom. I can see how long that is. Whereas in Final Cut, even if I'm on this edge tool and I'm trimming, well, I still haven't quite figured out this edge tools scenario. That's weird. I'm not getting any indication as to how long this clip is. So that's, that almost makes it unusable for vlogs. Anyway, so vlogs, until they add the clip duration, so I can kind of fine tune my B-roll and set it. Now, I would also kind of set it to the pace of the music, but if I'm just doing a quick edit before I add music, I'm just kind of aiming for like what makes sense within 2 to 3 seconds. And that really is a bummer. Now, let's import some footage from an SSD. I've got my SSD. I'm plugging into the USB-C port on the iPad. I'm going to make a new project. This is a dance show format. It's 4K. It's landscape. This was standard dynamic range, and I believe I shot it at 2398. Now, if I would have left that on automatic, it would have probably parsed that from the files. So if I go to my files, to my drive, here's the dance show. I want to import both of these two folders. One's from the C70, that's the close-up cam. One's the R5C, that's the wide angle. I guess I can't select 2 folders worth, which would be great. I could select 2 folders worth and assign keywords to them from the folder name in Final Cut on the Mac. It doesn't look like I can do any of that. So I guess I'll just import the first clip from each. If I do that, does it stay selected? Can I? No, I got to go in here. I got to grab that, hit open. And then I need to add more media. So how do I add? That's okay. Can I just drag it and drop it from the files if I go in here and grab it? Maybe. Now these are also 30 gig files because this was just Act 1. I just let the 2 cameras roll. It's about 40 minutes, but I want to try the multicam, see how it does syncing, and then how easy it is. Now, another nice thing about Final Cut is while it is still importing files, you can start working with it. So while Final Cut is importing these 30 gigs, I can kind of start working with it. But the second file hasn't come in yet, so I can't start syncing it yet. But I can go into the inspector. Okay, log processing. This is what I needed. So this is Rec 709, and this is Canon log. What did I say? It was in the files. I got to put it in the folder. The R5C was C-Log3. Okay, the C70 was also C-Log3. Sometimes I leave it on C-Log2 and I forget. All right, so Canon C-Log3 Cinema Gamut. Now, it doesn't appear like I can load in other lookup tables. So if I had accidentally left it on Canon Log 3 BT709, which you can change the gamut while you're still on your log curve. So it looks like this is it. So if I had goofed up those settings, I'd be stuck. It doesn't look like I can import more lookup tables. Now I might be able to go into the files menu and see if there's a spot for you to drop more lookup tables and have them populate. But these are basically the same ones that are baked into Final Cut as well. That said, these are not exactly the same as the ones from Canon or the ones from Sony or Nikon or Panasonic. They're pretty good. They're pretty close, but they're not the default ones, which is weird. Also, when you apply log processing and then you apply other color corrections on top of it, it happens after the lookup table. So I typically like to have in my effects lineup in Final Cut on the Mac, I will have either sometimes both color wheels and color curves and the other curves whose names are escaping me. Because if I don't nail white balance and exposure, I can make those changes before the log transform, the lookup table, and essentially have more flexibility. Because once I apply this lookup table and then I apply, and this was a very dark show. Also, can I turn off? I guess I just turned down the volume, but skimming without sound, that's an option on Final Cut for Mac I would love to see over here. Yeah, this was a very dark show, so I, might want to boost my exposure before I apply the lookup table. Oh, looks like my files have finished importing. That's nice, I guess. But that speaks more about the speed of this SSD, this Thunderbolt 4 cable from CalDigit, and the Thunderbolt port on the M1, M2 iPads, more so than Final Cut, I think. What was I saying? Yeah. I don't know. I wish I could apply a lookup table afterward. Anyway, all right. That's enough of my complaining about the color management and effects handling here. But I'm going to hit multicam and move the playhead over multicam clip in the timeline to switch angles. New multicam. All right, this is angle 1. This is angle 2. I don't know. I need to make up my mind if I'm using the trackpad and keyboard or the pencil. And actually, it probably looks better for you. You can see where my cursor is when I use the trackpad. So I'm going to call this dance multicam clip. Synchronize using audio. Yes, I have the tentacles to timecode jam these cameras, but I forgot them on this. So I don't think the timecode lines up. I need to synchronize using audio. So let's do that. Now, I wish, select clip and edge. Okay. I can't do keyframe and range on a multicam clip. That's fine. But also where was that before? All right. Here's my angles. So one of these, the close-up cam, this was the audio from the mixing board. So that's why it looks like this lines up pretty good. The close-up, the wide-angle camera was a shotgun mic on top of the camera for like applause and room. So it looks like it got in sync, and that's why these are much further out. But there's also 4 channels of audio. I would like to be able to disable. Maybe I should have done that before I imported the clip. But no, I was looking in the inspector. I couldn't. There were audio things in the inspector. Let me leave this project. This is pretty snappy in terms of like jumping from project to project. If I selected this and then opened the inspector and went to audio, where I thought I saw I could. It was here, options and appearance. No, where was it? Expand all clips. Yeah, okay, I could do that. So that's where it was. If we go back to my dance show. Oh, I gotta hit edit. Yeah, so if I wanted to hear both clips, essentially, and this has never been good in Final Cut's multicam because it collapses the audio together, and you could pick one or the other. I want to pick some channels from audio scrubbing. Haha, I can turn that off. That's great. Get out of there. Mono 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to I want to turn down the volume on that one, mono 3, mono 4. But it looks like and then collapse it back together. If I want to have both of them mixed together, how did I see that angle? Oh, now I have keyframes again for some reason. Where did the clip? I liked the clip selection. I felt like that was the closest to the one that I had in the past. Was it because I changed the volume? It was. I had the volume open, and then there were keyframes because I could keyframe the audio. Okay, that makes sense. That's what I was missing over here. And I felt like I was trimming the clips. It was like clunky to trim the clips. That's because I had volume open, and now I can select the clip, and yeah, now I can more easily grab the edges. Still can't see the length of the clip, but and there's my option left bracket, option right bracket built right into the. So if I'm paused here, yeah, I still can't do it. I still have to select the clip. I feel like even in LumaFusion, even if I don't have the clip selected, I'm still in like select mode. Turn that off. I feel like even if I don't have the clip selected, I can option left bracket. No, this is also true here. So this isn't quite like, neither of these are quite like Final Cut on the Mac. I can't just, yeah. What I don't like about LumaFusion is it's kind of tied like position-wise, like iMovie, where the playhead just stays in one place and I'm just sliding the tracks along the playhead. I do like that Final Cut here, I can move the playhead and I can be somewhere else. And it doesn't need to doesn't need to like draw the thumbnails like Final Cut on Mac. So that's a plus. If we could get that on Final Cut on Mac. So like if I'm playing something over here, but then I'm like, what's coming up over here? And I scroll ahead and I don't like, it doesn't draw the thumbnails, and to see the thumbnails, I've got to like stop and start. Although, I scrolled away and it stopped. No, was it just because I clicked on something? I don't know why it's still playing now, but it wasn't. Weird. So yeah, I'm probably not going to edit vlogs on it because of that. Man, I wish I could just double click on those and just let it open. I can purge the render cache. That's cool. So if I'm rendering stuff and it's starting to eat up all my internal storage, I can purge that out. I can option left bracket that. What does the check mark do? Can I hold the command? Okay, I can hold the command key to see the keyboard commands. What did that do? Oh, I can multi-select in the timeline. I can trash. But I don't want to do any of that. Yeah. All right, so let me undo that. And if I'm in the multicam edit mode, this is muted. Auto switch, play the singles audio only when this is active. Oh, on. Ooh, so I can have the audio from both. That's excellent. Okay, so now and I think that's what the 8 is saying. The 8 is saying all 8 So let's expand that. And do I need to leave multicam? Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Maybe I got this wrong on Final Cut on Mac, and I can turn on all the audio. So I can now do the volume, and I can turn these two tracks down. I don't need those audio tracks. So now theoretically I should have, this is the audience cam because there's some applause there. And then this is the board audio, and I'll adjust that audio. Cool. All right. So let's collapse that audio back into itself. And then bring up the multicam again. All right, so the lights dim. People start applauding. That's a good place to start. Oh, I can't. There we go. And theoretically, I just play this, and then I just tap on the box that I want, starting on the wide. Someone comes out eventually. Let's jump ahead. Also, can I make this smaller and this narrower? And then can I make the split and switch? Tap a thumbnail to split the clip at the playhead and switch to a new angle. Switch only. So I know split and switch is going to so let's say, let's see where, oh yeah, there was a bunch of just stuff on the screen that was hard to read, but all right, let's say I've got the angle there. So that it puts a cut and it switches to angle 2. Great. What was switch only? So right there, fade up. Oh, it changed. So that changed it, but for everything across this clip. So I do need split. Oh, but then I do need to return to the very beginning. All right, and then I'll go here. I did the up arrow to jump to the beginning. Up arrow on the keyboard. Now, can I also, play it quick and then use the keyboard commands? Can I use, okay, so I did this awkward move over to the ballerina. So I want to cut back to the wide. Can I use 1? I can't use the keyboard. I can't use 1, 2, 1, 2 either. So man, I've got to sit there, and they're too close together. So if I want to just sit here with the iPad and put some headphones in, and then just 1, 2 with my thumbs, I've got to hold it and 1, 2 with my fingers. They're just in the middle. I kind of wish they were off to the side, the left side or the right side. At this point, left-handedness doesn't matter. That's my feedback for the multicam. So I do I figured out the audio thing, and maybe actually I needed to go back, because honestly, when I would do multicam on Final Cut, I would just add the audio at the bottom. It would just be, a connected clip of audio, the different audio tracks I wanted. Maybe I need to go in and take a look at that. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to work for me. There is one other thing, though, I want to try. I'm going to make another new project. Let's do it with the trackpad so you can see. This is, I don't even remember what it was called. It was cutout or something, being able to actively cut out something from a clip. I'm touching the screen. I should use the trackpad so you can see what I'm doing. I have this clip of me acting a fool in front of a white screen. And yeah, I won't explain what's going on here right now, but I don't know. As Gilbert likes to say, all will be revealed. But yeah, I want to pull my well, that was import. Okay, so I dragged something in from the Files app, but that's where I needed to go, and that's the new camera. I hope this camera just gets added to iPhone, because I want to be able to, control my white balance. Just set it to 56K a lot. I also, you can set like exposure, and honestly on my iPhone I usually leave it at like -1 because I feel like the iPhone always overexposes a little bit. But the white balance thing, I wish the white balance thing was something I could do in the iPhone camera app. Whether you call it the Pro app or whatever. But yeah, turn on a grid. Oh, get some zebras. Source. I wonder if I'd plug something into the USB-C, it'll pull it there. Looks like I've got 14 hours of time left. Cool. Live drawing. Yeah. This is fun. But I've never been like my penmanship is terrible. Where did it go? Why not on screen? Done. It didn't show up in my media. It's not. Oh, it just showed up in the, yep. And it gets drawn on, yeah? Okay. Well, it recorded my movement. Okay, so I kind of wish it kind of ended up in the project media, that like I could reuse it and stuff, but whatevs. All right, how do I pull out a subject in here? Is it in my effects? I can add time code. Oh, it's not, that wasn't there by default. It had to download. That's interesting. Objects. Well, there's the time code. Count up. Thumbs up, bell. Yeah. Play button. A cursor. That's funny. Could animate my own version of the old unusable with Kyle and Gilbert logo. Just a circle. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know how to just grab the object. I want to pull myself out of here. Oh yeah. I also want to fix my logness. Also, just where's like basic color correction? Okay, I can change my role. Do I have to do it? I guess I have to do it here. Yeah. Log processing. This was Canon Log 3. And it did, yeah, rippled across the media. Nice. Yeah, how do I grab that object? I guess let's check out these tutorials. Ripple training did it. Okay, cool. All right. Getting started, adding with jog wheel. Why are these locked? Not available with free trial. How much does it cost to purchase it? $20? I guess that's not a bad price, but I don't even know if I'm going to keep Final Cut overall. So, all right, let's check the user guide. All right, table of contents. Transition and effects. Live drawing, add backgrounds and objects. I want to remove the background. Actually, video scopes. Is this going to answer my question about the vector scope? Vector scope, viewer. Nope. Doesn't give me the skin tone indicator line. That's Annoying. All right, back to where I was. Back to what I was doing. Background. Remove the background. No. Maybe if I search remove. Keying. Or maybe the search is broken. I don't know. Create projects, edit your audio, add titles, add work smarter. This is like data management, which is good. Looks like you can send this over. You can take something you start in Final Cut on iPad, you can send it to Final Cut on Mac. Accidentally closed that. This page, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like the trackpad scrolling. Video transitions and effects. Composite video with keyers and masks. Intro. Use the scene removal mask. Scene removal mask. Yes, that's what, yeah. Clip automatically removes without the need for a green screen. Great. Before you begin. Static background. Extra frames. Bright, evenly lit. Place. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Just like tips on how to shoot it. Open a project. Tap the clip. Effects browser. Do one of the following from the effects browser. Drag the thumbnail clip in the timeline. Clip becomes highlighted. Release it in the browser. Oh, you can apply the effect in the browser. That's interesting. In the inspector, tap that layer thingy, then hit the plus, tap masks and keying. Okay. All right. So that's where it was. So I can tap on the clip. I can go to inspect. I can go to the effects. We're going to add an effect. Masks and keying. Green screen key or shape mask, corner mask. Nope. We are going to do the scene removal mask. Oh, I had high hopes for this. It did not do it. All right, back to my original idea of doing a Luma mask on this clip. All right, 3 for 3. The 3 things that I do the most in Final Cut are all a little underwhelming. The thing that I really liked the most was the jog wheel. The jog wheel is pretty cool. This works exceptionally well. So here's a list of my demands, Apple. I want a left-handed mode for the browser to be back on the left. For me and other left-handed people. Andy Toe. Andy Toe. You have his media here in the sample. It's not going to let me. Can I delete it? Oh, download demo project. No. How do I get rid of it though? No. He's left-handed. I've seen him use the Apple Pencil with his left hand. Let us put the browser on the left hand if we want. Give us clip durations when we are looking at a clip and I tap on it. I want to know how long that clip is. It's great to know where I am in the timeline, time code wise. It's great to know the length of the entire timeline, but I also want to know the length of the clip that I selected in the timeline. I also want keyboard commands for multicam. I get it. You built Final Cut from the ground up for touch, but a lot of us have a keyboard, whether it's a Magic Keyboard or this Logitech keyboard or the Zag keyboard, or you just connect an Apple keyboard to your iPad. More keyboard commands, especially for multicam. Plus a lot of the ones that are in Final Cut for Mac, N for snapping, P for position, and S for turning off the audio skimming. Yeah. Let us turn those off with keyboard commands, more keyboard commands. And last thing I need is for that tool, that key to be better. I was hoping that would do better, because it's perfectly white behind me. There's maybe there's a little shadow. I don't think let me turn that effect off. I'm pretty sure I lit this in like good. Oh, reference is first frame. Okay, there are more things to this. Okay, I walk into the scene, so that's my bad. Okay, now first frame plus 1 second, reset. Oh man, that's rough. I feel like I shot that as clean as I could. That's so clean, and it can't do. Okay, let's just really quick green screen here, but I'm gonna make it essentially Luma. Oh, I can't select my. It pulled the green. I thought I'd be able to select the color. All right, I guess I should have shot that on green screen if I wanted to do that on this program. So yeah, give us green screen keyer that lets us select the color. That's my stupid face. And yeah, also just in general, Final Cut for iPad or for Mac, please give us automatic transcriptions and the ability to edit the video via the transcription. Lumberjack, Descript, even Blackmagic, DaVinci Resolve has added that. I would love to be able to pop in a clip, take the time to transcribe it, fine. But then let me delete words or grab sentences, and then the sentence that I take or things that I delete appears on the timeline. That would be great. I was going to say man, if I really liked Final Cut on iPad, I'll edit this project on iPad, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not impressed with Final Cut for iPad. I'm impressed that it's here, and I'm impressed that it's got things that LumaFusion doesn't have, but it's missing so much of what I do now. I'm sure this is how a lot of people felt when Final Cut 10 came out, and it's it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, it doesn't do this, I'm never going to use it. I'm not saying I'm never going to use Final Cut for iPad. I'm just saying this is a very 1.0 feeling release, and it's missing so much of what goes into my workflow. I would love for this to reach parity of Final Cut on Mac, and I feel like Final Cut on Mac has reached quite a lot of parity. There's still some really high-end stuff in terms of audio that isn't there, but there enough third-party tools have come out for Final Cut for Mac to practically reach parity to what Final Cut 7 was, to what Premiere is. Now, Adobe also has added some transcription tools that we don't have in Final Cut on Mac, but Final Cut for iPad, it's cool. It's nice that you can, duplicate things. Oh, that's export. If I wanted to duplicate, I can render and I can purge. But yeah, there's still a lot of things. Oh, also just let me edit from the SSD. I've got Thunderbolt here. That's fast, right? I've got a Thunderbolt port on this iPad. Why can't I leave my media on this SSD and edit from it? I would like that. All right. I guess I'll check in a year and see how it's going. But yeah, this is not going to take over my daily edit. Maybe I'll edit a couple of TikTok vlog vertical things, but even then I'm kind of I want to know how long each of these clips are, so that I can keep it within the time frame of the format, the platform I'm putting it on. Yeah. All right. I was excited, and this is well, nope, I'm still going to have to lug around my 14-inch MacBook Pro so I can do the work quickly. If there's things that I missed, leave it in a comment, and I'll see you next time. Peace.